Today we learn the page object model, shortly the POM, another way of creating automation test cases. See, what is this page object model? In very simple words, page object model, page-wise maintaining the objects. Page-wise maintaining the objects means that, okay, you first, we see the previous code we have created. See here, we have admin login functionality code. As of now, we are creating the code in a way that at first we are making Selenium to identify an element. We are making Selenium to identify an element by its properties. Then we are asking Selenium to perform some action. In this entire statement, there are two parts. Finding the element, first part of the statement. Once element was identified successfully, no errors. Then second part, perform some action on the element. Okay, so right from the beginning, we are creating the code in this fashion. Find the element based on some properties, then perform some operations. Okay. Now, so as of now, this code is working fine. Consider the example. If you are working on some project whose UI very frequently changing. So every 20 days or every next version to version, slightly the UI is getting modified. The best example, Gmail, Google Apps, Amazon website. Such kind of bigger applications, very dynamically or frequently, some new features will be added, some existing features will be modified. Agreed? E-commerce application, some ERP products, Gmail application, a year back, we have username and password together. Now we have username, in the next page we have password. But I have created a code in a way that find the element based on its properties, UI properties. These are nothing but UI properties, right? User interface, HTML properties. Then perform some action. Say we are working on some application whose properties are frequently or dynamically changing. The properties are very dynamically changing, frequently changing. UI is frequently getting modified. The RNHRM application next version, UI was modified. Login UI was modified. Will this code successfully run? Will this code successfully run? Yes or no? Definitely this code will not run because your code identifying the element based on its properties, then performing an action. I said, we are working on some project whose UI is very frequently changing, properties are changing. definitely we get the exceptions, no such element exception, element is not interactable, something like that. So for the applications whose UI is very frequently changing, it is suggested to go with another approach, this page object model. In this approach, for every page present in our application, for every page present in our application, we create a separate page class. Page class. In this page class, supposing you are working on a project that has 40 pages. If you are working on some project that has 40 pages, this library package will have 40 classes. Page 1 class, page 2 class, page 3 class, page 40 class. For every page belongs to your application under test, we create a page class. In this page class, we define elements and functionalities, functions separately, not together, not together. As of now, we have elements identification actions together. But here, we define the elements separately and we create the functions separately by accessing the elements. Like this, like this. To teach this, I'm creating a new Java project with the name RNHRM_PYM. Then I associate the required APIs. The Selenium, the TestNG, the Apache Poi, and everything, whatever needed. So we associate all the APIs, whatever required. Yes, agreed. We need to copy the Gecko driver, Chrome driver, whatever required. I'm copying this Gecko driver into this PYM project. Okay. Once it is done, here I'm creating a package with the name rnhrm.pages. Previously rnhrm.library, nothing wrong. Package name can be anything. You can put rnhrm.library, but I'm giving a meaningful name rnhrm.pages. In this package, for every page present in our application, we create a page class. How? What is the first page here? Login page. Here I'm creating a class with the name, the login page. Then in this page class, almost same approach, sir, whatever we have discussed earlier, but only the thing is we are separating the elements and we are separating the operations. First, we define elements. By accessing the elements, we define the functions or methods or whatever. Okay, let me define the elements. What are the elements available here? Username element, password element, login element. We define the elements like this. We have a feature available in the Selenium WebDriver @find by. It is equal to driver.findElementBy. It is Selenium feature. @find by. It is used to determine the element based on the given properties. Here we have to specify the locator. ID we can use, name we can use, XPath we can use, any locator we can use. Here ID equal to, I'll give the ID value. Just a minute. Yes, here we have ID. So this is same as find an element by its ID txt username. Okay, whatever the element identified, I'll keep in web element, because you know the return type is a web element. Some name UID, or say UID element, whatever, UID element. So find some element whose ID property txt username. The identified element we are keeping in a web element of type. UID element is the variable name here. Element name here. Same way, the other two elements also. You can use any locator here. ID we can use to teach you. We can use different locators. I'm putting this one. Okay. Yes. Just a minute. Just a minute. The name property we have to spy. I'm spying the name property of the second element. Here the name property available, txt password, I'm copying it. Then web element, say password element. Like, we need even this element also for writing the code. We can use, okay, let me use XPath also. If ID available, you know, blindly you go with ID, but to teach you different locators we can use, this time I'm using even XPath also here. Okay, login element. So like this, we define the elements. After defining the elements, here we create the functions. Say that admin login function. This admin login needs username, also the password. And here, UID element. See, you no need to write driver.find element again. Already elements are identified. The name of the element here, UID element. By accessing the elements, we write the code. The password element dot send keys keyword. Login element dot click. So like this, we have to create the code. So here, just I'm putting here. So elements separately, and we define the functionality separately. I hope you're clear about this point. Till this point understood? Previously, your Selenium statement has properties and operations together. Now, we are maintaining elements separately and functions separately. You tell me the reason why you are doing like this. What is the advantage of this approach? Why we are separating the elements, operations, so that in future, yes, correct. This @find by is nothing but, one of the students posted a question, Sudha. The @find by is nothing but the other way of making Selenium to identify the element. Both are same. It is equal to driver.find element by ID. This is same as driver.find element by ID. The advantage, yes, one of Sai Krishna said reusability. Same elements I can access in other programs also. Reusability. And in future, when the properties are modified, I no need to change the business logic. We no need to change the business logic. Only we have to update the properties here. Supposing username change it to otherwise login change it to submit. If login button change it to submit, only I will change here. I no need to change the business logic. So functional logic remains constant. Only the UI related stuff we are changing as we really your application under test is modified. These objects we can reuse in other programs and also ease of maintenance. So whenever the UI is changed, only we'll update the elements part. We no need to touch the business logic. For ease of maintenance, for reusability purpose, this approach is preferred. But developing automation test cases, little time-taking process. So we recommend, we opt this approach if really you are working on a project whose properties are dynamically changing. Do one thing. Better you take this notes, whatever you are seeing, you take this notes better. No, there's a reason for that, you take this. A sample Orange HRM login page class. You take these notes. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay. Done. In the previous approaches, we are putting properties and actions together. In this approach, the elements and operations, meaning functionality, is separated for the sake of reusability and ease of maintenance. But definitely writing the code in this style takes little extra effort. But if you keep future maintenance in mind, this is a recommended approach. Hence, generally in real time, project to project, development approaches will change, code development approaches. If really we are working on some project whose functionalities or UI is frequently changing, project manager recommend go for POM approach or implement POM approach for our project. Done. Then, now, in the same way, I'll explain one POM test case completely. Here, in order to complete the login, I need even welcome link and also logout link. Welcome link, also logout link. But it is another page, right? It's another page, admin home page. So what I will do, I say, for every page belongs to our application, we create a separate page class. So here, I create another class with the name admin homepage. With the name admin homepage. Once it is done, here also we define the elements. I said, in order to complete the login POM test case, I need welcome link, also logout link. So here, I'm creating the two elements. At the rate find by link text equal to, or I will go with, instead of link text, the partial link text equal to welcome. Welcome link. Then logout. At the rate find by link text login. Oh, sorry. It's logout. Then here I create the method by accessing these two elements. Okay, like this, the page classes will be created. So after creating the page classes, after creating the page classes, we create test case class using page factory class. I'll teach you what is page factory. We'll talk about what is this page factory. Now here, see what I'm doing here. Launch application, close application is same. So this utils I'm copying, I'm putting here. Then I'm creating another package, orangehrm.test cases or tests. Here I'm creating a test case class. Say admin login test. Now this admin login test extends app utils. So here I'm creating the test method. So remaining approach, everything is same, but only here the new thing is defining the elements separately and using page factory. We'll see first. I'll write the code like previously how we used to create. We face some exception, then you understand the need of the page factory class. So here what I will do, this I'm going to configure with @test annotation. Then here, first before test will run. What is before test here? Launch application will run, then close application will run after executing the test method. Before test, @test, and after test. So what is the code in the test method? We have to call the admin login function. Later again, we have to call the logout function. These two functions we have to call here. So in order to call the login function, admin login function, I'm creating an object for the login page. After creating an object for the login page, I'm calling that admin login function. So this time actually we have to access the data from the Excel. Already we know about this. I'm hard coding the data here. Done. Now, okay, just I'm calling this one. Let me first run the code till this point. We'll face an exception. I'll do one thing. I'll close this application. I'll run the code till this point. We'll face some exception. You have to answer me why we are getting the exception here. Before test executed. Now, after before test, @test method will be executed. But here, we are getting some exception while executing that @test method, the null pointer exception. We are facing some null pointer exception where while executing this line of code, this code. While executing this statement, we are getting null pointer exception. Tell me why. Guess what would be the reason? See here, we are asking Selenium, see here, this statement, enter some data. From here, we are passing the data. admin and QH. We are calling the admin login function. So whenever this function called, the control goes here executing the first statement. UID element, enter some data into user ID element. What is user ID element? A element whose ID property txt username. That's okay. See here, did you specified anywhere in which page this element to be identified? Find some element whose ID property txt username. Oh, it's okay. Where? Where to find this element? The login page or admin home page or which page? Did you mention anywhere? No. You please observe this statement again. Identify some element whose ID property txt username and store into some object. Where to identify this element? Nowhere mentioned. Here, driver pointing null, driver pointing no page. Hence, we are getting null pointer exception. So here, this what I said, we have to create test cases using page factory class. What is this page factory class? Page factory class, sorry. There is a class in Selenium called page factory. This page factory class provide a static method, init elements, initialize the elements. Initialize the elements. What is this initializing the elements? Let's see. Initialize the elements present in the page class. What is the page class name? Login page. Login page, which is a class, means whatever the elements available in this class, whatever the elements present in this class, login page class, 3 elements are available. Initialize the elements present in the page class on the driver, on the page where the driver focus available during runtime. Finally, the page factory class used to associate the elements to the page where the driver focus available during runtime. When I run this code, first before test will run, driver focus available at login page. So your test case identify the element available in the login page class on the login page. Now let me run this code. As simple, we are associating objects to the page using page factory. We are associating the elements to the page where to find out using the page factory class. It is used to link the elements on the page. Same elements I can use in some other project also if you have similar kind of elements. See now, the code executed successfully. We have to call logout. I was not called logout, but executed successfully. Let me extend it little. Even I want to call the logout also. Where is that logout? In the admin home page, ehome equal to whatever the elements available in the admin home page, I'm associating to the current test case, meaning the page where the driver focus available during runtime using init elements method. So elements present in the admin home page, we are making Selenium to identify on the page where the driver focus available during runtime. After executing the login, driver focus be available at the home page, admin home page. So definitely the elements present in the admin home page class will be identified in the admin home page. Then I have to call the logout, logout, ehome.logout. So this is a complete test case. Let me run this again. So only you have to remember the 2 points here. We have to define the elements separately, function separately. That's the first point we have to remember for ease of maintenance. Then these elements we are accessing in the test case with the help of the page factory class. So that in future, if properties of the elements are modified, we no need to touch the test cases. We no need to touch the methods. Only you have to update the elements declaration section. Only we have to update the elements declaration section. Once again, this is the console output. Let's see the TestNG output also. Here, admin login test case pass. So this is how generally we create page factory classes. Only here I have created only one test case. So majorly 2 points you have to remember. First one, define elements separately. Elements, methods separately. Then we associate elements present in page class. Oh, sorry. We define elements method separately in the page class. We associate elements present in the page class into test case class using page factory class. Okay, got it? So these are the 2 points you have to remember. Maybe I have created only one test case. So test case, I mean, we can create multiple test cases. All test cases, again, you group into testng.xml file, or you can drive from the Excel sheet. That approach is same. Majorly the difference between the previous approaches and this approach, we maintain the object separately, and we create test cases by accessing the elements present in the page class with the help of the page factory class. So maybe it is looking simple because I have created only one test case. So in the same way, you have to add multiple test cases. All these test cases, again, we drive either from testng.xml file or from the Excel sheet like hybrid framework. This kind of test development approach is called page-wise objects maintenance model. Page-wise objects maintenance model, shortly called PYM approach. I hope you're clear about this approach, everybody. So major advantage of this methodology. In the next version, login button change it to submit. Only you have to update the property here. You no need to touch the functions. You no need to touch the test cases. Ease of maintenance. Ease of maintenance is the major objective behind choosing page object model. Okay, right. Friends, I stop here today, and tomorrow freshly I'll implement the Maven and Cucumber framework. I'll upload these notes and also the POM what I have implemented into the Google Drive. And tomorrow I'll introduce you the Maven first. After Maven introduction, I'll go with the Cucumber framework implementation. I stop here today. Take care. We continue tomorrow. Thank you.